So, what is God's will in marriage? A lot of people have been made to believe that as long as you're marrying God's will, there is no challenges, there's not going to be problems, things are going to go smoothly. I prayed and God said I should get married to this person. This man is God's will for me, this woman is God's will for me. So they just go ahead into marriage. Let me shock you. A lot of people have married and they thought this man was God's will and this woman was God's will, and they ended up having issues in their marriage. Some ended up dying of high blood pressure. Yes. Some ended up having a lot of issues they could not deal with in their marriage. And even though they are in this marriage, they are not enjoying their marriage. Now, the fact that God has said this person is my will, this man is my will, this woman is my will, does not mean that you should not court. That is why courtship comes in. Is the time you study this person. There are things we call deal breakers in relationship. These are things you can't handle in a particular person. Let's take for instance, you don't like a person that snores. And God that says this person is my will. Yes, when God is looking at a man, He does not look at the man's weaknesses, He does not look at the man's fault. He's seeing everybody from the standpoint of the finished work of Christ. So because Christ has died for us, when God looks at us, He does not look at these weaknesses. But you as a woman, can you deal with a man that snores at night? He's sleeping and he's snoring. Is it something you can overlook? Can you deal with someone that has body odor? He smells so badly. You've tried to do everything you can to make him change, get deodorant, you try to tell him to wash his clothes, and he's not working on it. See, if he's not working on it and he's not getting any better, you can go back to God. Yes, you can go back to God. Say, this your son, he smells badly, he has body odor, I can't deal with it, and he does not want to work on it. So give me someone else. Deal breakers are those things you can't cope with in a relationship, because if you eventually get into that marriage, these are the things that will keep bringing up problem, the things that will keep bringing up issues, and it will make you not to enjoy your home. So the fact that God has said this person is God's will for your life, I want you to get married to this person because of where I'm taking you to, your purpose, your destiny. They should be able to adjust. So this is where teachability comes in. This is where a man that is willing to learn, a man or a woman that is ready to change, that is ready to make adjustment to accommodate you comes in. If both of you are not aligning, if both of you are not aligning physically, spiritually, mentally, and otherwise, you are not ready to compromise to make this relationship work, then there will be problem. So you don't just bank on God's will because God has said this man is my husband. Let me just manage the body odor. My sister, when you will come around a guy that smells so nicely, you will forget that you are a married woman. Yes, you will forget that you're married and your husband is at home. So we don't just jump into marriage. See, I've heard popular preachers like Mommy Funke Adejumo. She will say you pray with one eyes closed and you pray with one eyes open. Because even though you're marrying a spiritual person or you're marrying to fulfill purpose and destiny, this person you're marrying is a human being. So it should be someone you can love. It should be someone you can stay around and you're comfortable. It should be someone you can discuss with, someone you can communicate with, someone you enjoy their company, someone that you admire. You don't go into marriage as if you're being forced into it because God said or because my pastor said. I am not saying it is wrong for your pastor to say. Now, your pastor is not supposed to pick for you. Your pastor is supposed to validate what God is telling you. You first of all hear God for yourself. That's how we tell people to develop a relationship with God and hear God talk to them. They feel that it's so much a big deal. You don't want to develop relationship, you don't want to hear God talk to you until when it's time to get married and you're seeing all the sisters in church and you're confused. And five brothers are asking for your hand in marriage at the same time, and you don't know the one to go for because you have not developed a personal relationship with God, and you probably don't know what you want for your life. You don't know where you're going to, you don't know your purpose, you don't know your vision, you just feel that marriage is the end of it. Please, your pastor only validates what God has told you. What has God told you about that brother? What has God told you about that sister? You need to get a personal conviction because marriage has its up and down. That conviction you've gotten from God is what will keep that marriage going. When the storm comes raging, when you start having challenges, when you start having difficulties, It is that thing that God has told you that will help that marriage to stand. So please go back to there and hear from God. Then check the character, check the person's lifestyle, and see if they are compatible with your own lifestyle. If it's aligning with your dream, if it's aligning with your goal, if it's aligning with your visions. Don't end up in a relationship or marriage with someone that has deal breakers you can't deal with. You can never meet a perfect man or woman, but the things that are their weaknesses should not be things you can't cope with. Mind you, not everybody changes in their lifetime. So if he's a smoker and you know you can't deal with someone that smoke, don't get married to him and say maybe he will change later. He might not change. Can you deal with it for the rest of your life? Get married to someone that have weaknesses you know you can deal with, something you can cope with, something that you don't mind. You don't really like it, but you don't mind. You can manage. Okay, not things that are deal breaker. I pray that God will help you. You will not make mistake in your marriage, you will not make mistake in your relationships, and you're going to end up having very lovely home, lovely children, and you fulfill purpose in life. That is my prayer for you today.